Hungover hat reviews. Why did I have so much to drink? Hungover hat reviews. There's less to this than you might think. Hungover hat reviews. Welcome back. Hungover hat reviews, episode 3. I'm just going to get straight down to it because I am genuinely extremely hungover. I'm very, very hungover. Very, very hungover, and I'm recording this again, as you can see, from Mum's car. The reason I'm doing that is because my neighbourhood is full of arseholes. There's people, oh God, there's people mowing their lawns, just generally out and making a lot of noise, enjoying this beautiful sunny weekend. My next door neighbour, who we hate, they have their grandkids over. There's heaps of them, and they scream. They're little shits. And if I could whip a big fucking shoe at one of those kids' heads, I would do it. Only in my mind. Obviously, I'd go to jail if I did it really. But fuck me, those stupid kids. You stupid. I hope one day you grow up and watch this. One, because hardly anyone watches these videos anyway, so it'd be great to just get another watch on there on YouTube. That'd be great. But also just so that you discover how much of a little fucking asshole you are. That felt good. That was a good rant. That was good to get that out. Hungover hat reviews. Last week we talked about the beanie. The beanie was a cold weather thing. I had a couple there. I was in the mountains. It was cold. It was appropriate. Now, equally appropriate, because I'm back on the sunny Central Coast, is something that gives a bit more sun protection. Here we go, straight into the hat this time, no fucking about. It's another drinking promotional hat, another hat that I can't actually say that I won that this time for drinking. It wasn't a hat that came with a purchase of excessive alcohol. I did actually go online and buy this, believe it or not. It was for a costume party. Full brim. 360 degrees of brim. They told me that's good. And I thought, I thought this was going to look fucking stupid. It's not. There we go, a bit of beard in the sunlight. Oh, that's beautiful. That's not a bad hat. Yes, madam. Yeah, I like that. I like that. It reminds me of two Australian people, which I'll give you a very, very brief history on so that I can get out of this car. It's about 1 million degrees in this car. I haven't checked, but I assume it's about 1 million. Anyway, first one, Paul Hogan, Crocodile Dundee. Made famous for that. You know, that's not a knife. Like, that's actually not a knife. You've got a fork there. This is actually a knife. Do you know what a knife is? I haven't seen the movie for a long time, but I think that was kind of the thing. He says a lot of things about knives. And then I'm pretty sure there's a scene where he kills a buffalo by going like this. Remember that? He killed that, and there was a family nearby, and they saw him do it, and the kid was just like screaming, why is he doing this? The mother was like, oh God, get Timmy, get in the car. And he's like, I'm gonna you fucking. And he killed that buffalo. Anyway, that was a good scene. And then Paul Hogan, aka Crocodile Dundee, fled the country for tax evasion. Although it could have had something to do with killing that buffalo, I'm not sure. He's pretty cool, but pretty much makes him the most Australian person to have ever lived. He says some shit about a knife. He kills a water buffalo in front of a family, and then flees the country for tax stuff. So very Australian. The second person is Molly Meldrum. His hat's kind of like this. He's got one of the, his goes like that, and there's a bit of string that goes around the top of it. I don't know. He's more of a hat guru than I am, and that's saying something. People will tell you, and if you look up Molly Meldrum on Wikipedia, they'll tell you that he's famous for all of his contributions to Australian music since like the 60s. He's a music producer, entrepreneur, presenter, all this sort of shit. He did all these years on Countdown, all that sort of stuff. And so he's beloved. Beloved by many. He even just recently had a mini-series made about him. However, what Wikipedia doesn't tell you, and the reasons why I think that he should be famous, is because he once went on a holiday. He went on a flight overseas through Europe to see all the big, grand, ancient structures. And he went to the Acropolis. Yeah, he went to the Acropolis. I'm really hungover. Yeah, he went to the Acropolis. And being the Acropolis, there's no public amenities. And I think he'd had a bad curry or something. I think that's what they sell. He had a bad curry, and he really needed to go. He was having a lot of stomach issues. And so he was on a tour group. They were touring around, and he was frantically looking for a bathroom. And in the end, he couldn't hold it. He like a excellent Australian ambassador, just quietly excused himself, went behind a pillar or a column, something like that, and just shat all over it. He just took a massive steaming shit inside the Acropolis. So why isn't he famous for that? I think it was the same flight, the same holiday. He was on the plane, plagued by stomach issues. He's eaten something dodgy, and he's had to excuse. Well, he didn't have to excuse himself. He was on a plane. He's allowed to go to the bathroom. He goes into the bathroom, and it was a bit of a coin toss as to whether or not it was going to come out here or downstairs, down below. So he had his Dax down, and I think he sat on the toilet, and then he was like, oh, no, that's not it. Quickly turned around, got down on his knees to vomit into the toilet, but then shat on the wall, shat all over the door and the wall, which I'm pretty sure nauseated him, and then he vomited everywhere as well. So he ruined the bathrooms of this international flight from somewhere in Europe back to Australia. And if anyone's ever done that trip, it's like 24 hours of flights, 24 hours of people just having to smell what Molly Meldrum's insides smell like. Delicious. So Molly Meldrum. He then later became famous again because he climbed up a ladder at his house and then fell off it and smashed his head. That's not funny at all. He smashed his head and had spine damage. So he had to go to hospital, and they thought he was going to die, and he had to have all this surgery and stuff done, and thankfully he made it. Thankfully he pulled through. Otherwise I'm a terrible human being. So he could shit on monuments, other monuments. So he's got a very small bucket list. It's only got 7 items on it, the 7 wonders of the world for him to shit on. So what a wonderful, beautiful human being he is. But I think that after the injury, he's not all there. I think that they pretty much just take him down to the park now. There's a pond, there's a beautiful pond. There's a park bench next to the pond, and they just sit him down on the park bench with a bag full of breadcrumbs. There's lots of ducks and stuff around, and he just sits there and furiously masturbates into the pond. I think that's pretty much what he does. So there you go. Nice and sweet this time, short and sweet. Hungover hat reviews. I realise that I keep doing this and not actually saying anything about the hat or reviewing the hat. I guess if I had to answer a couple of questions, would I wear this out in public? No, of course not. It looks fucking ridiculous. This is not a hat for modern society where I live right now. I'd be fucking rolled. But do I like it? Yeah, I do like it. I do like it a lot. I would wear it inside my house, but not outside in public. It does provide a lot of UV shelter. Great. You need that. But again, you'd rather get skin cancer than wear this out in public. So there you go. The other hats that I've worn so far, the beanies, as we said, it was practical. It was cold. It's practical, so I rate them highly. But again, in summer back on the coast, you'd look like a fucking idiot. So don't do it. The first hat, the Jamison hat. Was it Jamison? Yeah, it was a Jamison hat. Well, I would wear that in public. I would wear that out and about here on the coast. My girlfriend would leave me, so I won't. But that hat has kind of grown on me. So there you go. Go out today and buy a hat. Put it on your head. That's what they're for. And if some fuckwit comes up to you in the street and says your hat looks shit, you walk right up to that motherfucker. You look him straight in the eyes. You say to him, your fly's undone. And then when he bends, when they bend down, go like that on their ears. Now what you're trying to do is you're trying to rupture one or both eardrums at the same time, and they will hopefully they'll drop to their knees out of fear and shock, and then you lean over and you kiss their girlfriend full on the mouth, like one of those Warner Brother cartoons with the rabbit, and then you stoop down to where I assume is their stroller for their child they have, and just give them just a little pinch on the back of the arm. You don't want to hurt them. You want to give them a bit of a fright, so they cry. That will alert people, and people will look in on this situation. And then you lean all the way down to the guy's ear, and you whisper, "How do you like my belt now?" Wait. Goodbye.